Hey YouTube, okay, let's get down to motherfucking business. Game of Thrones is back, and I'm going to be doing weekly reviews for each and every episode they have. All 10 of them, yes. If you are one of those people, one of those fools who watched the first 4 episodes that were leaked on Sunday, then number 1, shame on you. And number 2, you have to wait 5 weeks now for the rest of the episodes. So, meh, you're an idiot. If you binge watched the Game of Thrones and now you're like, God damn it, I'm up to episode 4 now, I don't know what to do. Well, you've only got yourself to blame, motherfucker. So I got nothing more to say to you. Be gone, fools. Anyway, for those of us who watched it honestly, even with Sky Atlantic and their maddening commercial breaks, let's move on. So, it opens up in something that Game of Thrones has never done before. A flashback of Cersei Lannister's childhood when she went to visit a witch called Maggie the Frog, who was not a frog but a very ugly woman, witch-like in fact, who predicted that in her future she would marry the king but not the prince. He would have 20 children, she would have 3, and that they would have golden crowns and golden shrouds. Meaning, this witch is on point. Except for the golden shrouds bit, that has yet to come to fruition, possibly implying that all of her children will die, which doesn't bode well for Myrcella, who we haven't seen since season 2, and Tommen, even the new actor Tommen, who seems to be pretty decent. But I said in an earlier video, Tommen's a nice guy, but just kind of like Ralph Wiggum of Westeros, not very bright, likes kittens. That's it, you know? I don't have much more to say about the guy. Let me see. The episode was called The Wars to Come, and good God, 2 different characters and 2 very different storylines mentioned the wars to come. Mance Rayder said to Stannis Baratheon, and then I think somebody said to Daenerys. No, Varys said it to Tyrion about Daenerys. Okay, now I'm gonna touch on. There's too many plots. I'll do my best, but there's what I want to comment on really. First of all, is Tyrion has been unboxed. I could have done an unboxing video on that. I'm not. Tyrion's been unboxed with a badass beard, and all he is interested in doing is drinking wine and feeling sorry for himself. He murdered his lover and his father, and he feels just goddamn terrible about it. We still have a little bit of banter with him and Varys, and I'm glad Varys is sticking around. You know, and they've crossed the Narrow Sea together, and that they're going to have some more adventures. By the sounds of things, he's like, listen, I didn't bring you here so you could drink wine and kill yourself and feel sorry for yourself, okay? You have wits and you have talents that will be much needed because, you know, he talked about somebody gentler than Stannis but stronger than Tommen, okay? And obviously we know he's talking about Daenerys. That's, you know, but it's just wonderful for somebody from Westeros to cotton on that, dude, there's been a whole other party involved here. Not involved, but at play. You've always thought that this was a battle between the Lannisters and Stannis and Robb Stark and whoever, with the Ironborn as well. Dude, there's been some shit going on over here that I've had a finger in, and it's kind of going well. So, come with me on this. I'll help you out. You're the right guy for the job. So, Tyrion may be Hand of the King again, or Hand of the Queen, perhaps? Yeah, it looks like they're off to meet Daenerys, and that is excellent. We're getting towards the end game where characters from not conflicting, but various storylines will meet. That was again proven to be true at the Wall. Obviously, at the end of last season, Stannis, Melisandre and Davos rode to the rescue of the Wall and defeated the Wildling army, mammoths, giants and all. And in this episode, Stannis Baratheon says to Jon Snow at the top of the Wall, listen, I need to invade the North now. You know, I came to your aid, that's fine, but I've still got my eyes on the Iron Throne. I need an army to do that with. And Jon Snow's like, well, we can't do it. I was like, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the wildlings. I'm talking about those 100,000 motherfuckers down there. He's like, Jon's like, well, dude, I'll have a word with Mance for you, but He has a word with Mance, and Mance Rayder says, look, if you think I'm going to, this is very much sort of like colonialism right now. You've got an indigenous people being told by their rulers, their overlords now that, hey, you're going to take part in our wars because we said so. And I can see, I like Stannis, I don't mean to shit on the guy, but that is what this is. It's and Mance Rayder's like, if you think I would rather die, if you think that I would rather kneel to a foreign lord and see my people die in foreign wars then you're sadly mistaken. Or something to that effect. And even though you can see, Kieran Hines, excellent Irish actor who plays Mance Rayder, is fantastic, because you can see whenever Jon Snow mentions that he's going to be burned alive at the stake, it phases him. It shakes him for a moment. And then again, when he is burning, oh dude, just the screams that come out. And then there's a wonderful act of mercy by Jon, where he's tired of this. He's not going to stand this. Walks off, grabs a bow, shoots him, spares him any further suffering, spares us all. Okay, it was a tense moment, and let go. And Ned Stark would be proud of him. That's an act of mercy and justice, and well done. Okay, paying for your crimes is one thing. Suffering like that for a god that, you know, you can see the horror in the wildlings' faces. The Night's Watch were like, I don't like this. Except for Stannis, who's like, this guy's going out like a champ. Oh yeah. Except for that. Okay. Notably, there's no Arya. There's no Arya in this episode, which is strange because the last season ended with her. But you can bet that she'll be there front and center in episode 2. They won't leave us wondering what's happened to Arya for too long. We have a rather useless scene with Brienne and Pod. It's just them bickering about who you lost Arya Stark. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Fuck! I'm supposed to find Sansa Stark. Guess who passes in a carriage behind her? Sansa Stark. They don't know. They didn't see. It's just a shame. The Sansa and Littlefinger storyline seems to be going on. They're doing like a world tour, Vale tour, they've sent Prince Robin to live with the knight. He's like, look, dude, train this guy up, okay? By the time I come back here, I want him to be able to use a sword, not expertly, but just use it, okay? Make him a goddamn man, for the love of God. Look at him, Jesus. Over in Meereen, in Daenerys' city, she has... The Unsullied are being murdered in their sleep. Not in their sleep, but as they're listening to lullabies sung by topless whores. I wish I was making that up. I'm not. Yes, that's happening. It's a damn shame, and, you know, the guy gets a state funeral, which is cool, but Daenerys is like, listen, okay, we've got the Sons of the Harpy. They're an insurgent group that are trying to overthrow and undermine Daenerys' rule. They're obviously former masters and former slaves who wish to return to the olden days. Daenerys has no intention of doing that and letting that happen. As such, she says, okay, we'll get the Unsullied to patrol the streets. That's nice, but it's martial law, and martial law generally doesn't end well for rulers. Her intentions are good, but she's wrestling with the politics of ruling a city instead of leading and conquering, which is what she's been doing so far. Yes, she's sort of ruled the Dothraki, but she had Khal Drogo mainly calling the shots, and the Dothraki she started ruling after that. We're like, you know, what, 25 guys? Come on. Yeah, so that'll be interesting as it goes on, and especially the conflict with, should I open the fighting pits again? And her first reaction is like anyone's reaction. It's barbaric. Why would you do that? You know, but like, this is to them like UFC or MMA would be, or WWE would be to us. It's like, Daario Naharis tells her the best story and the best things that have come out of Daario Naharis' mouth since that guy showed up. I say that guy because he was 2 guys. So he just tells her, look, if it wasn't for the fighting pits, I wouldn't have had the skills to pay the bills. And when I say pay the bills, I mean throw a knife into a horse's head and win you this city. So makes her reconsider. And again, she can't control the dragons. We see that now. She goes down to visit them, and they've grown, but they ain't listening to her. They're still pissed off at being locked up in the dark. They've grown quite a bit, and there's still no sign of Drogon. That's been established. Let me see, what else? Cersei and Jaime, they're at odds now. Tywin Lannister returned as a corpse. Of course. Oh, and the Sparrows. Okay, we see not Martin. Lancel Lannister, the skinny dude with the blonde hair from seasons 1 and 2. He hasn't been seen in ages. That guy's hit the gym. He's filled out, and he's cut his hair. He's found religion now. He's like, listen, I'm sorry. I understand what we did was wrong. All of it. I tempted you into an incestuous relationship. I helped you kill the king. Cersei's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But, yeah, that I can't wait to see where that goes. That'll be interesting. You know, it's Cersei's going to have problems this season. You can see it. You find somebody. Religion is going to be a big power play. You've got a lot of insurgencies happening in this season, and I look forward to that. And again, I want to go back to the wall for a second, because with the wildlings, they now have no leader. If you look, actually both factions, the Night's Watch and the wildlings, they are leaderless currently. So they're looking for somebody to unite them, really. You've got these two tribes who will no longer go to war, and someone's got to step in and take over, because really there is one enemy, and that is a White Walker army full of zombies. And who do we think's going to take control and defend them? Anyway, that's a 10-minute rambling on Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 1, The Wars to Come, and what wars will come. Alright, YouTube, if you like this video, please click like, subscribe, view, share, and all the usual jazz. Hey, quick, look at this! I got an Xbox One! I'm going to start doing game videos soon! Hooray!